What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. As you can see, it is a full screen. If you're watching, there are four people on the screen, so you know it's about to be good. I love to have guests. I love to have individuals lean in with me because my opinion is always valid in my opinion, but also it's good to hear others. And the whole purpose of the lean is to have other opinions and for them to lean in as well. As you know, we're here to talk about this last episode of Potomac, which was the season finale, and the end of the season, and it's just been a mess the whole day. I have tried to stay away from the comments. People have been baiting me and baiting others, but I will say these three individuals that you see on the screen have done the same thing. So, I want to start. I want to start by introducing each one of them because I know them personally. We'll start with Terry. Terry was here last week, as you saw. Terry has a podcast, and as I mentioned last time, he always has an opinion. So, welcome back, Terry.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm working on a rebrand next year. I'm going to be very quiet.
Okay, and then beneath him we have, not beneath him, sorry, underneath him, we have Danny, who is a good friend of mine. We met years ago in Atlanta, and we are usually on the same team. But during this season, we have not been. How you doing, Danny?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, blessed, just trying to stay alive, not a big kid. You see, my security guard is over here. You about to
You
see
might need
him. Okay, and then we have Chase, who is also a friend of mine from Atlanta. Chase has actually been on reality TV. And yeah, he's also, like I said, a good friend of mine. How you doing, Chase?
I'm well. We won't speak of the past, because that was the past. We're gonna speak about what's now. We're gonna bring it to the table, binders and all. Let's go. I'm ready. You got me out of retirement. Let's go.
Okay, out of retirement. And then before we get started for real, I want to say thank you to everybody coming out. Like, obviously, we're coming out onto the live. This is always fun. I enjoy doing this. And so tonight I was really excited. We got a lot of my friends, Kanubi, Hope, Yummy. Everybody is here, so let's get into it. Today, we're just going to say today is Team Monique versus Team Candiace. I'm sorry. And honestly, let me put these names up here because I forgot. Here they go. All right. You can see everybody's Instagram social here. But honestly, the way that this app did it, they put Team Candiace at the top and they put Team Monique at the bottom. That was not done on purpose. I don't know how this app works, but it is what it is. So let's get started.
Class, just...
And I want to first start by saying also that the lean does not condone violence. And I want to say that I am so glad that Juan is not here today.
He needs to be here because then we can really talk about Robyn.
No child.
Have something to talk about.
Okay, so we're gonna start. Last week we pick up in this episode with the fight. Sorry, and Candiace, she obviously stormed out last week. People were upset about it and saying she cries and stuff like that. That's all. That's here or there. In this episode, they're talking about the fight again and just basically the legal battle. So we know that she sued. We know that Candiace sued and then Monique countersued. But now that was obviously thrown out because she countersued. But in this situation, just individual thoughts on how the episode opened up and just the legal battle itself, starting with you, Terry.
I always feel as though Karen and her mom probably really pressed that legal action because her mom had said, well, what are we going to do about it? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, did they talk about it on the show? But Portia said it on the Bravo chat that Monique had said that the lawsuit was to get money or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't believe any ability in that. I think that's Candiace being the hothead and being petty and vindictive to sock it to her. And, I didn't think it was necessary.
Okay. Danny?
I kind of agree with Terry on this too. I think that was pushed more by Miss Dorothy than anybody. Mm-hmm. I feel like Candiace had to basically do what her mother said. Like, okay, I was embarrassed. Now I got to retaliate. You're not
Right.
apologizing. You're not owning up to anything. So now I'm going to make you be embarrassed the same way I was.
Okay, Chase.
I guess this is gonna be one of the few times that Team Candice and Team Monique is going to agree tonight because it was totally obvious that the lawsuit was trumped up in order to kind of stroke Candice's ego in a sense. I think that more so than anything, she probably was ego struck. Having her head drug across a wooden table.
Hmm.
I probably would have done the same thing. But I think that she just kind of took it too far, personally speaking.
And then it also goes back to what has stated, because when we look back at it, the way that the information was leaked to us, it was brought as if Candice was the aggressor in that situation. The moment that it happened, because I was dropped that tea, like when it happened during filming, and how she keeps saying Monique allowed that narrative to be told. So that also is the reason why I think she pressed on that lawsuit.
Yeah, when we first heard it, we heard that Candice threw a drink in her face and then Monique retaliated. That's how we first heard it.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
I've heard from direct sources within the clan. So now that I'm watching it, I'm like, well, I see why certain girls logged off during this season.
Mm-hmm. So my question that I have, and I have this in my notes right here. Okay, why do you think? Because they even asked us on the reunion. I think Andy was like, why do you not have the same energy towards Karen, Monique, about the fight and just like, and then he even said, that's how I know Andy is. He probably listened to my comments. I think those comments are the same comments. He literally said verbatim. Why don't you give this energy to Karen instead of picking, like basically picking on people that is what he said. What did he say? I can't think of the exact thing he said.
Some mess.
Huh? He was saying like, why not come out to Karen versus going at somebody that you know is a little weaker than you? That's kind of what he said in the question. It was a question from somebody else that like from those random cities.
I think what was asked was, why would you not be upset for Karen saying she would press charges if she was Candice?
Oh yeah,
that's what he asked her.
Well, my thing is, how will we know that Monique was not upset with Karen about it? Because how much camera time did Monique get?
Yeah.
But she had the one-on-ones with Karen. I think it was very suspect to see how she still kikied with Karen like they were in some type of cahoots situation after Karen literally told this girl to go press charge. Karen really rode the fence with it. It's one thing to be like, hey, I'm neutral. I would have said, girls, I hate this for y'all, and walked away. But Karen really played both sides. It was very confusing at one point.
And see, I think Karen leaned more towards, other than that one comment, I think Karen leaned more towards Monique the entire season than she did Candice.
I agree.
Yeah.
Other than that one comment.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. I think under the guise of neutrality, that she was, saying I'm neutral. If you are my friend, right, and me and my friend, we all are friends, all his friends, right, and me and Daniel get into a fight. And so Terry says to Danny, I will press charges. I am going to be upset with you, but at the end of the day, I would want you to keep it as real with me as you possibly are going to keep it with him.
That's real hard.
I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's
because you're really telling me to put. You telling me to put. I'm telling you to put him in jail, but I'm also telling him, hey, I'm here for you.
It's a catch-22. It really is. To me.
Monique said they talked it out, so I have to take their word that Karen agreed with her, so they talked it out. Monique and Karen are my faves, but in that moment, I was disappointed with Karen.
Yeah, I kept saying Karen was playing it very, very close. It was, even when it came down to the invite thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was confused about Ashley's position because you keep bringing it up and you saying, why did you invite her? Did you invite her? And then you going back and running and telling other girls. So and I'm like, well, why are you still cool with Monique? And it was very confusing.
Because
I felt like in that moment, Ashley was trying to make up for the stuff what went down with her and Candice during the trip at the party. I felt like Candice was like, I mean, Ashley was trying.
Oh yeah, that is right. She was trying to.
Ashley was doing what she has been doing before now. The things that we have seemed to forget about, she was doing what she always has done. It was not stranger activity to me, in my opinion. How did y'all feel about Andy? This actually took me out when he said when she said I have the top lawyer in DC, and she was like, well, he said Bob who? He said something.
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr, something like
Bill
that.
Barr.
So haughty, so dismissive. You know, what is your job here, baby? What we doing? Are you moderating this reunion? Or are you jumping in with the girls too? You need to pick a lane. And if your lane is hosting, you need to host the reunion. Because if Bill Barr was such a bad attorney, then why did the case get thrown out? I mean, really.
Bill Barr, the attorney general, huh?
General for Trump.
I think that was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
I'm hoping it was a joke.
I believe so. I think y'all got to take the gas off Andy. I don't care for her, but a lot of what people are saying about Andy, watching him over the years and reading his book,
it's not foreign.
Like Andy, this is Andy's humor. Like this is a part of the job.
Do you know in this instance, Andy did come across more biased on Candiace's side versus Monique. He did seem to be taking digs at Monique all evening. He did, and Chris as well.
What are digs, though? What were the digs?
Look, when he was saying to Monique, "Oh, you're a recording star."
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, it's stuff like that. He was, but even before on season 2, he was saying, "Oh, well, let me hear you rap."
To who?
To some of the other girls.
She said she used to rap.
Yeah.
She introduced herself with a rap.
She said, moderating. Like, if you're going to introduce something, then I'm going to have a follow-up. Because I would have had the same questions that Andy would have had. So
what she said was that she writes music, and then her attorney or whoever lawyer told her to put it in a song.
The therapist.
And so between that, Andy basically said the therapist and the lawyer, it was bad advice. It was like he basically trashed the lawyer and told the therapist was like that.
It was bad advice, because how you gonna write a song that addresses none of the issues and threatens more violence?
I thought that the song was very in poor taste, I must admit. The song was in poor taste, but all of the songs have been in poor taste. Money Can't Buy Your Class, Chic Say La Vie.
But those
We're not coming at Luann.
Those never were towards people, though.
What I'm saying is he's never made a mockery of anyone else's personal choices in regards to music outside of that show. So if he's saying that you're doing the song.
Laughed at her all Watch What Happens Live. Like,
who?
He laughed at her, Kim, when she sang Party 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 Live.
She was horrible. She was horrible. She was horrible.
Well,
but he never discouraged her and came at her.
He didn't discourage her. He just told her, like, if your the topic was apology. If I'm going to apologize to you, I'm not going to say, well, you got your wish. What I asked you for, I beat your ex. Like, that's not an apology.
Well, I mean, she didn't want to give the apology, and I'm sure we're going to get into that.
Yeah,
she didn't want to give it. She should have stood firm on that. But we're going to get to that.
I agree with that too.
Okay, so we'll move into that area. Let's talk about the childhood trauma. So, of course, as was mentioned, you know, they still talking about this fight, but basically, this is a point where I was really starting to kind of feel Monique. I feel like something was coming out that I wanted to hear, and it wasn't necessarily an apology, just something. Get your finger out my face. But basically, she basically revealed that she has childhood trauma from when her dad used to put her finger in her face, and she couldn't do anything about it. So now, as an adult, she can. That's what she said. She said that Candiace, she admitted that she did not deserve it. It wasn't warranted. Which is the second time she said that before. Previously to the pastor, and then now here. So what are y'all thoughts on the childhood trauma and how it's been, you know, directed towards the trauma versus Charisse or Gizelle or the baby, all of that?
That's the questions that I have. Gizelle and what is her name? Rob.
Yeah.
Even Charisse. I mean, she was dismissive of Charisse, like, go ahead. But she did not have that energy of disgust or like, I'm going to get them, when they are literally the girls, the birthers of this plot.
Well, I think two reasons. I think number one, she said the trigger was pointing the finger at her face, Charisse, Gizelle, nor Robyn did that to her. They never
Okay.
pointed the finger
So
at her face.
pointing
So
the
that's
finger
the
at the
trigger.
face. Now let's be clear, because we've all watched the footage, and I don't understand how we all take away from that footage. I say to you, Danny, I love you, even though you pretend to be asleep. You take your dig, and I say you mom shaming me, and you saying I'ma drag you, and I'm like this, like, and at the same time you pulling my hair and tugging at my hair.
Okay.
So that make it seem like it was dead.
Let me let
because
Chase
it wasn't
answer.
dead. It was.
Go ahead, Chase.
But
Let me tell you something. Go ahead. Well, let me just say something to you. When it's argument, it's an argument. I don't care if you're
yeah,
saying
in
the
the
clouds in the
moment.
sky, the chariots on the hill. When you go like this to me, all bets are off. Keep your hands on your side of the table, my love. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then we did see someone push her, which was Gizelle. Whether Gizelle was trying to push her back, whether Gizelle was trying to, push her forward, whatever Gizelle was trying to do. Some people are people in the heat of the moment that you can't come near, you can't touch, you can't talk to because they are blacked out and zoned in on what they're zoned in. So the best thing for you to do is to stay out of the way. True or false?
But do you not? But do you all not think that when Robyn was in her face, she literally got it wasn't a finger, sure, but she was in her space. Basically, Robyn was more provoking than to me than Candiace.
Because wasn't there an umbrella in that
She
situation?
almost choked
But
Robin out
she
with an
walked. No,
umbrella.
she
Yeah.
walked up on her and said, "You shut up, and like in her space, and then she put the umbrella up. That's what
Yeah.
happened. So
That was.
But there's also different emotions involved when you consider someone to be your friend.
Okay.
She never considered Robyn or Gizelle to be
Okay,
her
so
friend.
now let's talk about that because I do think at the end of the day, these girls were more friends than any of the girls on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big sister, little sister thing. And what's maybe not making sense for me because it probably happened off camera, but it's not adding up the anger that you have because even throughout the whole season, she took jabs at Candiace. Like Candiace said, she baited her at every turn, and Candiace walked away. Okay? Candiace called Karen, her good sister, and told her about the plot. And she told her last night, girl, I hear everything about other people. She didn't take jabs at her throughout the season and make none of that. Like, that was Gizelle. It don't add up the anger that she had even at the cabin. That was
It
hard.
adds up to me because you can't have that much hate without that much love. You know what I mean? So a Robyn can't make me that mad because that's Robyn. And Robyn ain't got nothing
And
going
she
on.
expects
But
it from
my
Robyn and
sister, my
Gizelle.
homegirl, my friend, my bestie, my buddy, my cast bestie, and this is what we're going through.
Candiace is not doing anything but warranting you to react that way. Y'all can't.
Except
why
for
were they
inviting
even
Charisse and
connected?
feigning ignorance about a plot. I
Karen,
mean, come on.
Candiace didn't say that your baby was not for that man.
But she invited the woman who did, and if we're supposed to be cool, you know better than that. And
That's-
then when I
And why
confront
are
you
they-
about
And
it,
hold on, because if we go back,
hold on, wait.
she the one
Excuse me,
introduced
hold on, wait.
that.
hold on one second.
That's not
When I
right.
Go ahead, Chase.
Hold on, wait. When I ask you, why are you inviting this woman? Well, I didn't know it was that
She didn't
serious.
ask
Yet
for
you just
that.
carried your big forehead behind on live and said that you knew it was that serious. So which one is it, Candiace? Because you might not be outright poking me, but you're definitely stabbing me under the camera, and don't nobody see you stabbing me.
You introduced.
I mean, you gotta call a
we
spade a spade.
we all are introduced to people that later on one friend fall out, and you still in conversation with that friend. And if at the same time Monique didn't want to talk about the seriousness of the rumors or address it. So, girl, if you're not telling me the full tea, then I don't know what that bitch done.
But then
the
why are they even? My question is, why did everybody feel so comfortable even talking about that rumor in front of, or the plot in front of somebody who's supposed to be Monique's friend? Like, and then Candiace didn't check them. Candiace said, "Oh, that rumor isn't going to fly." That's not the same as saying, "Oh, y'all stop lying on that girl like that. Don't do that." That's not the same. Candiace said
It's
that
not
rumor's
gonna
not going to
fly.
fly. She didn't really defend her. She just said she basically said, "Think of something else."
So I will say,
come up with
to that-
something else to take her down.
You inferring that ain't what they gave.
I will say to that comment, Danny. Honestly, I am disappointed with that because me personally, if that was me, I would have to get that back to my friend. I mean, that's just me. Like, I'm Team Ken. I love Candiace, but I feel
We
like
don't know how much of a friend Monique was because clearly Candiace was.
Well, no. Why I think that she really looked at her as a really good friend is watching the emotions. Honestly, y'all can say she cries, she victim, but the emotions that Candiace has gives love. Like I loved her, and you can tell
Definitely so.
even in this episode when she was directing when she was talking about, she owned up to her mouth. She said that she walked away at this point. She even said that she explained the whole scene about, you faking to be asleep and stuff like that. And the one moment that she did not walk away was the moment that it happened. She literally turned to Monique, and I felt like that was like, you could see the love. Like I was watching, like, this is intense to me, and I'm not even being
To me, that
sensitive.
was real.
It was
I agree.
real. Like
In that moment,
In that
that's what I've been
moment.
wanting to see.
yeah.
I was wanting to see them interact like that the whole time.
And
If they was
I
beefing.
just felt like that was Monique's chance, in my opinion, to really break down that wall or whatever else is up there, and
Yeah.
just really come to a moment to, what, let me try to find a way to get this better, because that was real to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. And I got to agree about that one.
So
That's the one time. That's the one time I agree with the tears.
okay. So let's talk about another moment. Let's talk about Karen and Candiace, because they had a real moment. They were going.
They
I've never
did.
seen Karen yell like that, and it gave me very mother daughter. The relationship that they've been saying. I saw it today, and I felt like this was the argument that her and Monique needed to have, but they didn't. So what did y'all think about the argument? Because basically, Candiace says that she doesn't feel like she was there for her, and Karen is justifying that she was, and all the other information. Just like, what do y'all think about that back and forth that they had? Starting with you, Chase.
I think that there's a failure to communicate. I think that Candace feels that Karen was not there for her in the way that she needed Karen to be there for her. And Karen feels that she was there for Candace in the ways that she could be. And I think once both parties recognize that this is what they were able to bring to the table, I actually think, but you got to have two willing, mature participants, that it could actually be resolved. Because once you understand another person's point of view, and you're willing to understand it and get where they were coming from and why they made the choices they made, if you're truly friends or truly want to work towards a friendship, then you can get over that bridge. Honestly, it is not as serious as they are making it out to be. I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. Friends go through a lot, and this is something that they could honestly overcome, in my
It's
opinion.
it's a lot of
So,
added people in there, and not
mhm.
communication. Egos is definitely playing a big part in this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, because like last night after the apology and even the moment y'all just discussed, like that should have been like all other reunions. Girl, I'm gonna walk across this thing and hug you
Oh
and be
yeah.
done with this. Like it's not that, but I think so much has been done, and there's outside people involved that is stopping that moment because they
We
were.
know who it is.
So I also think that was one of the moments where, again, I saw Candace's real hurt. Um, as much as I've not been a fan of Candace's, I saw her real hurt when she was interacting with Karen, because she did look at Karen as like a second mom. She
Yeah.
really did. And I think she would have been fine with Karen being neutral, but she saw Karen giving support to Monique, and she felt like she didn't get that herself.
I
Based
really
on what we
want
saw on
Karen
camera.
trying to reunite them at that wig thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was how that was going to set up.
So
Here's something I want to say about Candace really quickly in
go
this,
ahead. Go ahead.
because we have said that, she looked at Monique as a big sister, and she looked at Karen as a second mother figure on the cast,
Mm-hmm.
and she looks to Chris, of course, as a source of calm. I think that she is going to have to come to a point in her life where all of those things that she's looking for in other people, she has to find that resolve within, or else we're going to keep getting. I
She's
feel
a
like she's a petulant child. I really do. And I
she's
feel like she needs to find that within. I do.
and what happens is the people in her life contribute to that spoil that it's like she almost the only child, and she really not the only child,
She's
but
not even a
Because
one child.
she still gives off kitty
yeah,
vibes or
but
young.
and Dorothy
Yeah.
coddling and Chris even hands and foot, and Karen, you built that relationship of that type of thing.
And
So
Monique built it as the big sister too. They all.
yeah, and
Or
Yeah.
and she might say it's way more that we don't get to see, that they let it get away. So by the time it's coming to a head, it's like, now hold up, girl.
Or even with, her relationship with Gizelle and Wendy and the rest of the ladies, be on my side, be on my side. I need you to pick a side, I need you to pick a side. I don't need nobody to pick no side with me, baby. She drugged me, she going to jail, and that's that. Because that's the resolve I have within myself. You see what I'm saying? So I need Candiace to just work on her grown woman shit. Get some pull up about stuff, baby.
And even when it comes to the fight, I always say, even as much as I'm Team Monique, I always say violence is wrong. But we all have to understand and realize, too, that it's so simple to comprehend that everybody is not going to react the same way. Everybody is not going to fight back with words. Just because it doesn't make it right that it happened, but you have to. That to me, that should be a teaching point for her. Yeah. Everybody is not going to react with words.
Yeah, and in the moment, you grab and tussle me and pull me over the table. But at one point, when you walk to the bathroom with production and they sit you back there, but then you come out running again, then sweetie, no, you loving hip hop material.
And you know what? Honestly, I was getting very love and hip hop child with
it's love and hip hop at that
the
point.
Song, the fight,
and that's fine.
Candiace is not very love and hip hop.
That was in the moment. You had time to walk backstage and be locked in the bathroom, and you still the moment didn't went away by that point.
That's still how Monique felt. That's how she felt.
Candiace is mouth is love and hip hop.
And
nothing ladylike about it.
But then also, being a bad bitch, you got to stand 10 toes down deep in that. Now, you can't come back to Pastor and start crying because also, let's really be clear. Let's not act like in the confessional that she didn't say that when Chris was not paying her no attention and treating her like shit, that, I'm going to just put this in the box where I got Candiace. So this ain't all about Candiace. This got something.
But she said that. We're
gonna move to another topic because this is.
Let me know when we come back to Chris because everybody.
You got to watch your mouth.
We come into Chris.
You don't remember season 3 when she was crying out for help. Okay.
So still mentioning about Karen. Karen made a very direct comment saying that I don't regret calling your boss. So basically, what alleged happened is that she called to have Candiace get counseling or some type of therapy. And so it was taken from Candiace's side that she was trying to get her fired. And I think that's what they comment. So did y'all get anything from that comment? How did y'all feel about that?
Not really. I didn't take too much into it.
I think
Candiace.
Go ahead. No.
Okay. I think that was bullshit. Why she didn't call for Monique?
Well, she said
because
she needed help.
Low key, and nobody wants to admit it. Low key, whether Karen is Candiace's friend or not, I think that she feels like, Candiace been running wild in the Hulkamania, and she deserves to be there. That's what I think she thinks. So that's why she didn't call
You can't keep telling somebody drag me and don't expect it to happen.
I want these girls to stop thinking that they
ask and you shall receive.
I want these girls to stop thinking that they got pulled like that to get everybody off the show. Girls, y'all just show up for work.
Nobody in Potomac has that kind of pull.
That is very true. I say that.
I want all of them to understand that because look how they got Monique.
Correct. Okay.
We're not going. Don't bring Nene into
So
this.
in the next segment, Nene ain't here.
But look how sad she being drug out of here like that.
Well, you know what? So and you know what? I feel like that boycott Bravo is about to increase now that Monique is gone. But
I'm going to tell you what's going to increase.
Well, I'm just saying.
And I know this is sidebar. When Married to Medicine airs and Mariah Huck is not on that cast and they really hit the fan, and people are like, well, did she create?
Well, it's already, but they already know she.
But they already know she coming back.
How you like that, baby?
Oh, okay. Just sit back and watch.
This would be her first.
LA gone.
Mariah,
but it's already
been demoted for how many years now?
That's very true.
LA is gone.
Oh, LA is gone.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be fine without that horrible petition that Nene had posted. Who wrote that about saying that her and Mariah was the subject to misrepresentation and discrimination? Whoever PR wrote that is horrible.
Now, what she needs to stop doing, though, is lumping her case in with Mariah because you were a whore and a terror and a nightmare on set, and this girl got a whole show game from her.
No, the problem is my sis Nene don't have a good team. That's the problem.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah.
And Mariah got her own self in the foot. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Because you can't fall out at that time,
we're gonna
Hey
y'all, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from this. We ain't talking about marriage medicine is next month. And we're going to get to that next month. Okay. So, moving on. So, the husbands came onto this set. And honestly, it was the first moment that I realized that Ashley was there because I didn't even realize that Ashley was still there until they said that Michael wasn't there. And I feel like...
Ashley or Wendy?
No, Ashley.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know. I couldn't hear you, baby.
You heard me. Like I said, Ashley, I realized that she was not there. And I feel like I feel like Andy really wanted Michael there. He felt like he had a lot of questions, but when he wasn't, I feel like he was very annoyed. But the reason why he wasn't there was because of what? He said he had a wedding to go to?
Yeah.
I feel like Andy would have preferred for Ashley to have gone to the wedding and Michael to sit in the chair the whole reunion.
Very much so. But the husbands are there, and like I said, I've always loved me some Eddie. I know people are like, oh, Eddie. Eddie has been a highlight to me since he came on the show. I think he's very attractive.
He's fine as I don't know what. That man is so handsome.
Correct.
He is cute.
But let's talk about the big boy, big husband moment. Mr. Big Boy is on this episode, and he is being put as very aggressive. They calling him Peter. They saying, yes, he was defending his wife. They were calling them Jocelyn and Stevie J. All types of ways to describe them. So what are your thoughts on him and his, the video? Let's start with the video. What are your thoughts on the video that he gave on Live with Monique? Starting with Danny.
I just didn't like one comment. I didn't like the whole Bruce Jenner thing. Mm-hmm. I didn't like when he made that reference. Mm-hmm. But I honestly, to me, you can't tell me how to react when I feel like you're doing something that's going to hurt my child. And you can't tell me how to react. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I don't believe in this whole narrative that men can't talk to women and you're just going to keep running him. I don't believe in that. A man can definitely speak to a woman. And then people are so mad at his live, but I didn't see the same energy toward Jamal's live and all the stuff he said about Monique. I didn't see that same energy.
They made jokes about it.
But not.
Jamal's was more comical than anything because it's shock. Like, girl, this what you gonna do, Pastor?
Yeah, he came a little better.
Jamal had a little more strategy because the church board had gave him that issued statement if he wanted to keep his job. He wasn't acting out on violence, invoking violence. That's a difference.
Well,
you keep talking about you can't dictate how I respond. Well, then you got consequences for how you react.
But saying I wish I could do something and saying I'm gonna do it is two totally different things. I can't get in trouble for wishing to do something.
I wish I was Bruce Jenner so I could smack down on them.
But that's basically the same thing. Not I can't.
They need one.
Okay.
No, I cannot agree with that. Honestly, it's not the woman and mean thing. It's just that the tone was too vulgar to me. Like, get your point across in a way. I'm not telling you how to react, but I feel like
it was in the moment of passion, like his wife.
It was very like vulgar. I felt like to be talking like that, and then your wife also adds, because he did that in the NFL. Now you're putting the NFL in this because realistically, he can get in some serious trouble if it comes down to it. Like, to me, I thought that was very reckless. Like, you can be mad at these women all you want, but
I feel like it wouldn't have been such a big deal if it wasn't coming from Big Boy. His size and height and everything definitely played a part in people thinking it was so vulgar. I think so.
It was the same.
If it came from
Peter or any size,
people would be.
Y'all said,
"Shut up, Michael, you ain't gonna bust a grape." That's what they would have said.
I mean, y'all said Peter was a bitch, and I just feel like, Big Boy, in that moment, it was giving very bitch tease. He was, and then even just the whole tone, he was very directed at Gizelle. Like, how are you so directed at a woman like
but
that?
Peter was also always.
How was a woman so direct about my family, about my child?
But this is how I look at this, because everybody says it was introduced on the show, but I don't know what show y'all watching.
Yeah, I don't. Well. Go ahead.
Opening episode 1, Gizelle said, rumor on the street is Monique and her trainer got a little too close and was out, and Big Boy got upset, and Sharice was spilling the tea. Okay? That is the only thing that I heard on the show. Never once about the paternity of the child in question. Now, Gizelle said when she went over, Chris said, who does the child look like? He looked like me, Gizelle, as in poking fun of this plot.
Yeah.
Okay. So she like, well, they talking about it. Potomac is small. It went from her friend in her house to Sharice to all of the social circles. Nobody on the show introduced that until Monique said it in her confessional.
But do you think
Uh,
that he should have
uh,
not been joking? Answer the question. Go
I'm,
ahead.
he introducing it. You saying that when my child turned 15, he got to turn on the TV and see this. Now, if this tea was 3 seasons ago, you bringing it up, and your wife is bringing it up. I don't want to talk about the rumors, what they're saying. They the one putting it out there.
But
Okay.
they didn't go live until Candiace went live about the plot.
Candiace
the
went
the
live because now Monique has let this narrative toe and made her look like she threw a glass in her face. So why I gotta respect you now, Danny? You let the people.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying why he went live in response to Candiace's live. Is what
I'm not
saying.
talking about his live. I'm talking about how it got onto the show. Because
well,
like
the context of the conversation that I
it never
remember,
was on the show.
the context of the conversation that I remember was that before we found the unaired footage or whatever, right? It was Monique and Gizelle finally come in and sit down and have a come to Jesus, bury the hatchet. Gizelle brings up Sharice at the party. Monique says, I don't want to talk about it. The next scene is Gizelle in a confessional saying the exact quote that you just said, Terry. Now,
But that
don't
doesn't
slow
say
down.
that
I'm
don't say
telling you
nothing
this,
about
Gizelle.
child.
Don't say what the rumor is and think people are going to have intrigue about this
Oh
rumor
no.
and want to know more about this rumor. You introduced the rumor to the television screen. You
That's
have to own your part in that. And she
that's
introduced it. If
if,
Monique said
if
in that
it's
moment that I don't
real,
want to talk about it, don't
the
talk
night
about it.
before, if you're not speaking to Sharice when you were just Kiki's with Sharice riding in first class a season ago because you needed to talk and confide in Sharice. Y'all don't remember that episode.
Oh,
And
I remember
if
season
Sharice
three.
is on Kiki and you see her at Candiace's party and I'm asking you why you not talking to Sharice, yes, I need to explain that in my confessional. Now,
No,
if
you
people
don't.
start saying that, oh, that means the child, then baby, that's your ministry.
Giselle said she thought it was a part of their personal story. Was it their personal story, Giselle, or your personal story? Because you don't want anybody to discuss the rumors that Jamal is out here sleeping with
It
somebody
ain't
else or
nobody
whatever he's doing,
Well,
but
you
it's
know,
all for show.
to
So what she
jab
was
it
trying to
off because
do was
daddy even
redirect that
jabbing it.
conversation and
This
throw
is
it towards
reality
Monique and
TV. You
Chris.
don't get to pick and choose what you want on the show.
so personally,
Okay, so
I don't really feel like this should have been something that they joked about to Giselle.
Fine.
I feel like whether he was joking or not, it just gave Giselle the ammo. I feel like it's a lot of I'm confused because I wouldn't have been hanging with Giselle if I was privy to this. But Monique said that she was doing the job and she was this. But honestly, it felt more like she was trying to be really friends with Giselle initially. And I don't know but
absolutely.
I don't know how you would become friends with somebody like
That's
that,
kind
knowing
of
that this rumor is out there. Like I can't, I wouldn't fake that. If it's
the
something,
math not mathing for
what
me.
I'm saying is if it's something, what I'm saying is if it's something that I can't, that's off limits and I cannot control how I respond, I wouldn't be kikiing with you at my house. I'm sorry, I just
When you
wouldn't.
keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and
Uh,
I think that after three, well, hold on, I just think that after 3 long seasons of what Monique felt and perceived to be Giselle being the ringleader for why Robyn don't like her and all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Giselle being mean for her to her when she immediately stepped on the scene with the Holmes comment.
Yeah.
That I think that she probably was like, I don't know, I at least probably would have been like, you know what? It's been three
I'm
seasons. I got to
tired.
work with this girl. I'm tired of arguing with her. She's actually being nice to me for once. She said hey to me. Oh, good. Thank you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right.
And I don't
Let's move forward and
think
see what we can do.
Monique was going into that being line having her guard up with Giselle either. She wasn't like, oh, now we're besties. Monique was, still paying attention.
It was cautiously optimistic,
I
is what I call
feel
it.
like initially I think she let her guard down. I feel like she
Yeah.
really felt that her and Giselle were getting closer in some kind of way. And when that fight happened and Giselle basically turned back to who Giselle has been, that's how we
Well,
got. That's how
Janelle
we.
is a manipulator.
No,
So
she is, but that's something that Monique should have seen a long time ago. Personally, I would have never befriended Gizelle. Now maybe somebody else on the cast that I felt like with, maybe Ashley, sure, but Gizelle, no, Gizelle is the worst in my opinion. She can't be trusted, and the network favors her. So she honestly,
We don't know why, because we don't like Gizzard. And Candiace, we know you watched this because you did the interview, and everybody in Potomac needs to know. Nobody likes Cankles. We don't like her. Stop shoving her down our throat. We don't like
but
her.
the
we definitely don't
network
like
the
Gizelle.
network favors her, and I think that is
We don't
why.
like her clothes.
She
We don't like
is
her
the
decor in the
charade.
barn.
She brings the mess,
Nothing.
and they can make a mockery of her
But
and her.
I think as Terry says, Giselle to me is the Kenya of that franchise in the sense that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep the mess going. I don't care how low it is. I don't have no respect for myself. I need this. Like it said it up.
Because there's no way I was gonna take the low blow of a woman with screenshots of text message and confirm my man's number and still show up next season.
There's no way in the world I would confirm that was my man's number. Girl, you've been lying since you met him.
Giselle
That's
got
the time you
tore
want
up
to
at
tell the
the
truth?
reunion.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah.
right.
This reunion was about Gizelle. I mean, I know the fight happened, but it was Giselle's. It was her burial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was the
Giselle
come up
got
it.
tore
You know,
up.
for those who
I
been riding
actually
since
felt
day
bad
one,
for her at one point.
I didn't.
Someone
Never.
says that Ashley is the Kenya.
She was. She had a rebrand.
She
Yeah.
Ashley's more of a charade.
When she had a baby, she actually changed the teach.
teeth,
Ashley
that
ain't gonna
teeth
never
so
change her spot.
small.
Because early on, she was all the way down at the courthouse looking up Robyn's bankruptcy records, and
Oh yeah, she was horrible.
she was
Well, there's a time to me, Ashley and Candiace sometimes are the same person to me, to an extent.
very much.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think Candiace is a little bit more. How can you put it? A little bit more grittier, a little bit more grimier than Ashley. Ashley is mess wrapped in eloquence.
Yeah.
She's an eloquent messy, but she is messy, and I have never. I would never, as long as I live, trust her head as far as I can.
Ashley's a little more phony than Candiace to me, in the sense that Candiace,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we
I
all know
agree.
she don't know what bit for Monique, but Monique is keeping her secret. Like, she don't care about Monique.
And Monique don't care
But
about
yeah,
her. That's
just-
strategic.
But Giselle got buried. This reunion, I'd be scared to even come back.
I'm so happy that happened. That's her come up. We've been watching the show. I know I have since the original episode, season 1. You know what I mean? And when the show first started, it was like, okay, Gizelle is the Nene. She is the ride or
love
die.
Gizelle
Like
at
we team Gizelle, and then
I
as
never
people
thought
keep
that.
going and years
I
keep
never
going, it's like
thought.
this heifer is the lowest.
I used to like Giselle and
down.
hated Karen, and then it flipped for me.
I ain't never thought
It's
that.
crazy how that
To
happened.
be honest, I really don't have a fave on that franchise that I would.
I hate all of them.
Yeah, like they just something to watch, but none of them is that girl for me.
They
Yeah.
are actually, and that is so crazy that you brought that up, Terry, because they are actually one show where everyone is a horrible person, and you have no choice but to like Karen because
She's
she's the least horrible out of all 7 of them. They are horrible people. Horrible people.
Yeah, and
I
Karen
just
became more
Karen
like
came to life this season for me. Yeah, this
But
season
great
is what did it for
television.
me
Great
with Karen.
television. Oh my God.
So let's do a quick game before we move to the next topic. I came up with this. It's called This or That. So basically, there's gonna be either or, and it's not just Potomac. It's Potomac and many other things. There's some Real Housewives of Atlanta references, Married to Medicine, all of that. And you just basically tell me which one is your preference of the two. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start light. We'll start with Juan or Apollo.
Juan.
Oh.
Which one,
Well,
Shay?
have y'all seen Apollo in person?
Nah.
Yeah, but you know, like
Wait, so you said
Woo.
what? Wait a minute. So you said Apollo or Juan? Which one?
I'm gonna give the edge to Juan, but it ain't because Juan just beating Apollo ass.
The comments
Apollo
are saying
fine.
Juan. That's crazy.
let me tell you
Yeah,
about
Juan
Juan.
fine.
really
Juan
quick.
is
Juan
patient.
keep a Robin job.
Really quick.
Juan is patient and loving. The way he handles
It's Juan's smile for me.
it's his smile, and I think his comfortability with gayness, it would be more than Apollo. Apollo give me hyper masculine, DL. You probably fuck me and cuss me out.
Can I tell you what did it for me for Juan and why I had to end up giving it to Juan? The way he wrapped up little Michael Darby, down to that event
Oh, he did
and
grab
told
him.
you better come. I said, oh my God, I just didn't know what to do. I thought I was down in the daggone Potomac myself. I
But
want to
let's
go
be
to
clear,
Vegas.
Michael lived for that.
Child, he
Love.
did.
Didn't he?
Okay, the
Oh,
next
what
one.
he
The
say?
next
He
one.
like to say, oh,
The next one. At this point, we can't get no more explanations. We gotta just get to the
Okay.
game. So, Ashley Darby or the mother of Dean?
Oh, they both boring. None.
wait, what?
Either the
Ashley Darby?
rebrand or Ashley when she first started on the show.
Basically.
Oh, the mother of Dean. Ashley Darby, or the mother of Dean.
The mother of Dean,
I like Ashley Darby better.
You like Ashley Darby?
I
Ashley,
hate to say, I would
Ashley
never
Darby
say,
better,
you know,
was
I
better
never
TV.
thought I'd say
Ashley
women had
Darby.
kids.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause she only had that baby because
Okay.
Secured the
Ash-
bag.
Ladom
Ashley
Fragrance.
Darby reminds you of the friend that you have growing up to have a baby and now y'all relationship changed.
Okay. Ladom Fragrance or Embellished?
Ladom. I don't even know what it smelled like, but Ladom.
Ladami.
LaDom because she's in Bloomingdale.
Yeah.
But okay, so Crying Candice or Crying Candy?
Crying Candy.
Candy. Which one?
Oh.
Candice or Candy crying? Which one?
I'll take
Candy
Candy.
got more redeeming, likable
I
factors.
can't stand Candy.
Okay. Okay, so Wendy's 4 Degrees or Monique's 4 Homes?
Monique all day, baby.
I'm gonna take the 4 homes because I'm not $500,000 in debt.
Oh. Okay.
You know I love my Wendy. She just misunderstood.
Wendy for me too. So I say that. Sorry.
Child, please.
Katie or Sharice?
Katie.
Katie.
Katie
is a
Katie was a good time.
moment.
Katie was good.
Bring her back.
Okay.
Imagine how good this season would have been if Katie was there and that fight would happen. Oh my God.
Ooh, wait. Robyn's reunion Bob or Claudia's Bob in Puerto Rico?
Ooh, that was both of them.
You know,
I'm
I'm gonna say Claudia's Bob
was
because
multifaceted.
it didn't have that picture. It was tight,
Choose
but it didn't have
one.
that picture of Gizelle on it.
So who? Which one?
I'm gonna go with Claudia.
Claudia.
Robyn.
We'll give it to Claudia.
Okay. Monique's
Oh, Robyn can't even win a contest.
read it's about Past the Holy Whore or Phaedra's read about the pizza for $2 and whatever cents, whatever she said.
Phaedra.
I'm gonna go with Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it was
Cortez,
the
as you know me the
how she
longest, you know
elevated.
Phaedra ain't winning nothing over here. Monique it is, baby. Phaedra ain't winning nothing over here. Hell.
Okay, and then the last one is
Phaedra gonna win everything over here.
Peter in Women's Business versus Chris in Women's Business.
I'm gonna say Chris because Peter don't never have a reason to get involved. Chris had a reason.
Okay.
Chris, the same reason.
Look at his hair like I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what was Peter getting into.
Everything.
It was a gamma party, huh?
It was about Nene when she grabbed the mic and said, "It's amazing
Oh,
how friends are having a
yeah.
good
Oh,
battle."
yeah. Peter.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that was the
She ain't
culmination for
nothing to
Peter over the years. Peter had been getting their business.
All right, he really was.
Season 4.
Okay.
I really thought Nene was having on the low.
So let's talk about Juan and Robyn really quickly because I know let's talk about them. So Karen, she made that comment about what Juan is doing when he's drinking, but in the reunion she danced around it. She said that she wasn't going to do that because it's already been a very negative platform on this day. Now, in my opinion, I thought that was some full of shit. Actually, I feel like I'm talking about like her saying that and then not going into it because you said it. And it was a very loaded thing to say, in my opinion. So and that's my issue with Karen. I feel like she does dance around about stuff.
Well,
but
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think she danced. I don't think there was. I think Karen said it. It was the first thing Karen thought of to say as a comeback. There was no truth to it. I think she just tried. She tried to, get Robyn in that moment but I don't think there was anything to it.
But do you think that comment warranted that? I mean, I can't tell how to respond, but basically all she said.
I mean that goes according to Team Monique's policy.
Oh Lord.
Well,
I'll be honest. I enjoyed Karen having her foot on Robyn's neck all
She
season.
did have
it.
To
me,
listen,
because she knows that's her weak spot. You got to say
Robyn, but Karen never comes for Robyn. Robyn always insert her LeBob in other people's business, and guess what happened? You're
But
ill-equipped, baby. You're ill-equipped because
season,
every
though,
time you
she
come for the
she
grand
is
dame, she sends you back packing.
this season she do something about Karen and Robert's relationship is weird
It
because
is
it's
weird.
almost like she's an annoying child.
Yeah.
But like Robyn asked her, "Hey Karen, I heard you was drinking all the Fireball. What are you talking about, Robyn? Like,
Because I don't like you, Robyn. Why are you asking me this?
I think there's a part of Robyn who feels like she's making those comments because Gizelle tells her to. Because there's Robyn and Gizelle, they have that oil and water relationship, and she feels that Robyn is Giselle's
You
henchman.
know what? I honestly don't feel like Gizelle is putting Robyn up to this one. I think it's in reverse how people think that Karen think Robyn is the weakest link. I think that Robyn thinks that Karen is the easiest target. Is she gonna come up for Ashley Darby again? No, she's gonna get ate up. Is she gonna betray Gizelle? No. Does she know what Wendy got going on? No. So she ain't gonna say nothing about Wendy. You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
they
Candace
don't.
crying. I
None of them
can't
want
fight
to
her. Do
Wendy's
nothing.
mouth.
So she
I'm
comes for
surprised
Karen, and Karen blow her head off every time.
Wendy
Yeah,
under
You
the
she
gotta
does.
not throw shade in the grove with the umbrella, Miss Robyn, because you can't throw shade. So you need to
Hold
stop.
up, she threw
And
some
I
good
do think
shade
that
at the reunion though.
No,
This
I
she,
do think
Robyn, you got
that
to pay
that
attention to
comment was
Robyn.
true.
Robyn slides one in every
she
blue moon. You got to
does.
pay attention to
She
her.
does. She's
The
You
sneaky.
said
thing is,
Robyn what?
She does throw
Robyn,
some shade.
we
It's
dismiss
very
her so much because she's so boring, so we don't pay attention to her. But if you pay attention, Robyn gets one in every blue moon.
She literally, well, I'm telling you, the line up for me in this whole episode, or this particular reading, when she told her that hat was no longer selling, she took it off the market. It was the exact hat that Karen was wearing. To me, I thought that was hilarious. Y'all remember
But
that
she'd
comment?
already said earlier in the episode that she never put the picture up. So which one
Yeah,
is it, Robyn?
no,
You're
but
so
Karen,
damn dumb.
but
Ugh.
the thing is, Karen said in the confessional that the hat was ugly, but on the reunion she said, "Oh, I love the hat." So it's like Karen. Now look, stand by what you said. At this point, you
But can't expect the hat to sell without a model to show it.
well, I don't know if she.
Robyn
and
is
it already
slow,
sold
and I
out.
do believe
And
that
let's
that
be clear, all the hats are ugly. Every last one of them was
I
a
want all these
bedazzled
girls
mess.
to put all these arts and crafts projects up.
Yeah, they was right up Gizelle. I believe that was Giselle's idea too to bedazzle them because she
These
loved
products
rhinestones
is
and
horrible.
I must say that, Robyn is already having money issues. She's probably going to have to watch out for some legal issues because I'm sure Lisa Frank is going to sue her for the copyrights to those hats because those hats
No,
give very much Lisa Frank, Trapper Keeper, third grade, 1996, 97. Them hats are ugly as hell. And I do
well,
believe that
can't nobody
Karen was
copyright
telling the
ugly.
truth.
Robyn
One is
is so
messy, and
glad that one was not there.
me too.
When I tell you that took me out, because you
Well,
know what,
one wasn't
honestly,
gonna do
one
nothing.
wasn't there because he was with me.
What?
Duh.
Well, first of all,
How is that wrong?
Robyn was ignored the first two times she said it. She
She
had to get
was.
loud the
She
third
did.
time, and
Well,
she was
she
barely paid attention to.
she cut past that Bob. This is the Bob. She was just like, I hollered because it was a moment.
And the thing is, Chris was not even being rude to her. And Chris was not being rude to her.
He
wasn't.
wasn't being rude, but I think what the moment was she was looking to hear was that they were talking about their wedding, and so they're getting married, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm so clouded by this. I don't even care about what's going on over there." And honestly, it was
Who
like,
And then
cares
he
about
said,
Robyn?
but he also
Huh?
said, "I'm happy for y'all. No disrespect." He also said, "No
Yeah, he
disrespect. I'm
did say
happy for
that.
y'all." But and
but
then he went back to his own
do
thing.
y'all think
So,
that so his anger? I feel it, and I understand it, but he was so upset, and it's like. This has been going on for so long. Like, I know it's the reunion, but I feel like he was more ready for the reunion than all the girls. It's like he couldn't wait to
he
get out there.
was. And I
And
was glad he
There
addressed
are
Candy
multiple
like that.
reasons why he is upset. Okay. You got his mama probably at home witnessing all this, and she don't care for that heifer. So it's like you got your family in your ear,
mhm.
and then it gave very much. I might have doubts myself about my child because that little award-winning performance. I'm not gonna act like I have not seen Monique in them confessionals complaining about that man
Oh, I mean,
many times.
But
I
they've all
think that it
complained
was
about their
fine.
husbands.
huh?
You say
I think it was finally brought up on the show and finally addressed, and so he finally addressed it. To me, it
he
seemed like
addressed
3 years
and said, "Yeah,
of
I'm
knowing about this plot
now.
and this
It's
frustration when
phenomenal.
they came out.
That don't make the problems go away."
Well, he was ready to make some people go away at the reunion, and hopefully they have learned their
Well,
lesson.
It was
I
just
mean,
too
It went too
aggressive for
far.
me. It was too much.
Yeah,
And I
Passionate.
honestly,
very
like
much stage
that.
performance.
It just gave a lie. You had Gizelle, little security guard sitting over there, and when she told Gizelle,
She need a refund.
when she told Gizelle, she said, "Get him." I feel like he was more scared than anybody. He was just
He was like, "Get who?
get
And that was my issue.
You gotta
with
get
Gizelle,
me."
too. She's sitting there telling that man, "Don't effing talk to me." But then the rest of the reunion, she's saying stuff under her breath to him, calling him all
About
type of names and
him.
stuff, and he can't talk to you. I'm gonna cuss you out and call you everything else.
You know, that's the dynamic I like about this show and Married to Medicine, because the husbands are there. So it's kind of hard, honestly, because we so used to, like, Atlanta and Basketball Wives, the men are never there. We're used to seeing like 10,000 Giselles on the cast, and now we have a show like this in Married to Medicine. It's hard for the husbands not to get involved. I just feel like they can get involved, but there is a way to go about addressing a woman or somebody else. And I think that Chris was just too aggressive for me. Like, I would have probably been a little scared if I was a woman, but I'm not.
I get. Oh,
I am
I get what you're saying,
Equal,
but I think
equal opportunity, equal
I
rights.
felt
You get it like anybody else will.
Yeah.
I threatened.
I
think
did
that you
feel a
have
little
to-
threat through the TV. I thought he was talking to me. And I was just like,
no.
ooh.
I think that
Well,
you
he's
have
your
to.
bodyguard.
You have to watch the seeds that you're sowing, baby. Because when you're sowing these seeds about this baby ain't this man and this and this and this and this and this and this, and then want to beat your ass. Oh, excuse me.
It
And
wasn't
not
on
even
the
saying it's
show.
right, but not even. So here's
That's
my
why he
issue
said
with
he
that,
was
too.
angry.
You say it wasn't on the show, but then production turns around and play Candiace's live. That wasn't on the show either. So be consistent.
Candiace's
and
live
not talk
was a
about what's on the
consequence
show.
of your actions that you carried out through the season.
Uh-oh.
And
I'm saying that was not played on the show.
you
but
can't
they
have
played
it
his
both
live.
ways. You can't
No,
react.
you can't. No,
React
but
and
here's
lead
the
the
thing.
narrative
But
that
if you're not going, but if
Candiace's
you're not going to
live,
play,
they
but
coulda
if you're not going
got
to play
that.
Candiace's,
It
but if
doesn't
you're not
work
going to play,
like that.
but if you're not going to play Candiace's live and let her lie and say there was never a plot, when in the live she said there was a plot, and you're not
They
going to
never
play
said
that,
there
but
was
then you're
never
gonna
a
play his.
plot. This said
She
it was
said
not
it.
on the
No.
show.
They did say
So,
it was not a plot.
She
They
what-
said
did say
in
that.
episode
what
They
one,
said there
she
was no
said
plot.
there was no plot. In
said
first
there was
part of the
no
video, she
plot.
said there was never a plot. She
So
said
let me
it.
ask this.
They
What
said
Roll
there
the
was no
tapes back.
plot onto the show. The context is on the show and behind the scenes. Candiace admitted to the dinner and whatever happened after his baby shower.
Candiace admitted that on the third episode of the reunion. The first episode, she said there was never a plot. Period. She said there was never a
Because
plot. on the
she
show.
said
there was never a plot. Period.
as far as them putting it on the show.
So let me ask
She didn't
this.
say
Let
that.
me ask
That's
this.
That's what
What
she inferred. She didn't
what
say
do
that.
y'all let me ask
watching
this.
the same show.
Let me
Check
ask
what you
this.
find.
What do y'all think the plot was? The plot to bring the rumor out about the child not being hers, or was the plot to have her removed from the show? Because initially that's what I thought they were talking about, but now they're talking
That was
about the
the
plot.
goal, I believe, huh?
Well,
It was to bring it on the show in an attempt to get Monique to run off of the show.
I agree with both of them.
I don't
think
think
Because
it
if
was
she
both.
was running for 3 years,
Oh.
if it comes on the show, it's not going to be something that she's going to willingly embrace and address it like that because she clearly said that she
And
didn't
look,
wanna
it
address
worked.
So how do we get it on the
worked.
show?
She's not back now.
Candiace brings Sharice around, who was one of the people who are purported to have been spreading the rumor. When listen, Sharice don't get but every minute of airtime, if that. And now she's showing up to every event in and around Potomac. And now I don't know why she's showing up.
She
I
was
don't know
at
why
Ashley Darby's baby shower, and she's still Ashley Darby's friend.
yeah, she is
Sharice
still
was
a
trying.
friend.
Sharice was trying to get
Sharice
back on
was
the
at
show.
Ashley Darby baby shower. I don't see Ashley getting that same energy.
Sharice and Ashley
But
have a
Ashley
pre-existing
told- but
relationship.
Ashley
Candiace and
told her, I
Sharice's
invited her.
relationship
Ashley also
did not
told her,
come to
hey,
fruition until
She
last
was
summer.
they go
I
back
mean,
3
it doesn't
seasons.
matter when it happened. They did become friends.
I'm
So
trying
it's-
to understand
not
why
like
was
it-
she at
But she
Sharice's
also told
baby
Monique
shower?
she was coming. But she also told Monique.
She also told Monique that Sharice would be there, so it wasn't blindsided.
It don't matter if
And
she
number
told
two,
it.
It
The
does,
context
because
is
that's all-
about
that's
should
all
I
that-
invite the girl that you don't
That's
see
all
it
that
for?
Monique said.
you
She
befriended the girl
talked
after
about,
we
but that's
had
all she
the
said she
blow up
wanted
and
to
the
y'all
issue.
This is-
backtrack.
No,
No.
But
If
Y'all
you
backtrack.
befriend somebody
It
who was-
Y'all
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
backtracking.
Nene and
And
Candy.
But it matters.
Nene
And I
and Candy.
invite you don't see it for spreading rumors
No,
or
no.
not.
But
Wait a minute.
But it matters because she
Wait.
said what bothered her about Candiace was she never told her she was coming. So it definitely does matter that Ashley did tell her she was coming.
And
When
even
Robyn
Robyn and Gizelle,
recorded with production, you know who all gonna be there.
and didn't
Well,
Robyn and Giselle say, "But when did Candiace and
show
Sharice
up
become
and
such
not
good
know
friends?" I don't know.
But,
Do you know?
Baby, you don't know. Production
Ain't
is
no way.
biased against her.
I have signed reality TV agreements. Ain't no way you don't know who at the scene.
I have been in reality TV shows, And now there is a thing now that started season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now they'll bring whoever they want to bring to the thing because they did that to Candy the whole season. So I mean, listen, the game, the
Again,
rules have
remember,
changed, the game has changed.
Well, listen.
Didn't Candiace say on one episode she didn't know Block was going to be there?
Exactly.
To the little
Didn't
luncheon
Candiace
thing or
and
whatever?
Gizelle say? Didn't Giselle and Robyn say when did Candiace and Sharice become such good friends? I thought they hated each other.
I
They didn't
mean,
become
Or
good
they
friends
are
until
they all
after the plot
acting
was
and it's
discussed.
scripted, or
On
are they
What's the
all
real
acting
tea?
and it's
They
scripted,
were up under each other when Sharice
or is
What's
it
the real
scripted
tea?
and they acting? Which is it?
I need somebody to tell me what the tea is.
I don't know.
Like I said, can I invite your friend or not? Because you not giving the same energy.
The whole thing to me goes back to Gigi and Sharice, and I just really hate that these individuals got involved in this because I love Potomac, but I feel like it's so there's like
They ruined our show.
there's like a dark cloud over the show, and it's so like it was a good drama, but it's like I don't think it'd ever be the same. I think they're about to have the transition that happened for Atlanta, back in like season 6 or whatever. I feel like it's gonna be really weird, to recover, in my opinion. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't know
Absolutely.
what's going to happen next season if the girls they didn't make up by reunion time, and so much. The more time you wait and stall, the heightened it becomes. So it's like
yeah,
if y'all get back together, it's like, girl, y'all not this
because
ain't
it festers more and more. As long as you
Yeah.
wait.
Can I tell you who you should watch out for next season?
who.
You should watch out for 4 Degree. You should watch out for Hairline next season because she is already. If you watch what happened live, interview and things like that, she's already positioning herself away from the Candiace, Robyn, and Giselle side. If you
Who?
could tell,
Yeah,
watch her
Wendy
movement,
did. She didn't go
especially
in as
because she needs
hard
to be
on
lucky that she
Monique
even
as
got
she
invited
did.
back because she brought
yeah.
absolutely nothing to this show.
Oh, you
This
talking
whole
about
Wendy?
season.
I
Who?
wanted to see Wendy come back.
I said it.
Oh,
I
please.
didn't like
Wait, I'm
Wendy too
confused.
much,
Who
but I
we
wanted
should
to see
watch
her.
out for?
He said
Hairline,
Wendy.
Wendy,
Oh,
Jermaine
Wendy. I
Jackson.
mean, yeah, Wendy. It was her first season. All girls have rough seasons the
But
first time.
for somebody to come in new, she came
She
in
can't
just
have her
right.
own. And I
She,
don't think she's gonna break away from the girls she's befriended.
Uh,
Because I could
go back
never
I
and watch
don't.
that
see
interview.
Kiki for Karen. Because there's still
No,
that
so she
line.
didn't go in as hard on Monique at Watch What Happens Live as she used to, but her and Giselle have that sorority bond. That's never gonna go
Yeah.
nowhere.
But
That's
I
never gonna go
think that if
nowhere.
you look at her facial expressions when certain things were coming out about Gizelle and Giselle was behind this and Giselle did that,
I'm
if they
gonna
cut to her and she's looking
The
like,
only things that was
girl,
coming
for
out was
real?
about Giselle's marriage.
I'm gonna tell
She off
y'all.
her ship too.
I'm gonna tell y'all next season is gonna be good for Wendy if they get that mother-in-law involved. I feel like that mother-in-law is gonna bring out. It's gonna be her own drama, but her dealing with
Yeah.
that is probably going to transpire into the group, which
I just
it is
need
what
her-
it is, and I think
I
we're
need
gonna
her
see
to go
more of
find
her.
her passion.
Huh?
I need
Because
to
they
go,
say she in debt
I
and
need
got
her
bad African
to
bloodline.
find
That's
her
why the mama
passion.
ain't wanting to marry.
Don't be
That's
getting
what the
that
people say.
allegation, Chad. Don't get me sued on the lane.
That's what the people saying, Cortez. That's what
Y'all
I'm
see his
interested
name?
to see more of her. I want to give her another
I don't
chance.
think we got to see a lot of hers because of her
That's what I'm
job where she
saying.
work at.
Yeah.
I feel like now
I
that
don't
she got
think
her
I
four
want to see any
degrees
of her
out of her
because
mouth,
I just don't want to see her.
I want to see what she got now. Now I want to see what Wendy got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we lean out, because it's been a good long session, as you know, Monique has decided to not return.
Did she?
I know
Yeah.
Is
she
that
got
the real tea?
she
Because
got
I'm confused.
wait a
Because
minute,
the other
she
night
got a
it was
contract.
the contracts have went out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Hold on. So,
Given
so
very
Monique
much
went
the
live today.
contracts have went out. I'll be back. But last night is I'm tired. It's really
She
a lot
saw
of
the editing
work.
of the reunion. She spoke on it today.
Oh, or did
Saw the
she not get a
editing of the
contract?
reunion.
She spoke today.
She
I
got
don't
a
think that's
contract.
what she was given, Terry.
She
I
got a
think she was
contract.
given
The other girls would
contracts
have
went
been
out.
way too quick to say she never got a contract.
No,
They
that
would've
first
Right.
video when somebody asked
Mm-mm.
about coming on
She
the
said,
show.
She got a
I
contract.
got a contract.
Okay.
She got
Contracts
a-
went
she got a
out, and I'm not
contract.
taking
It's
it.
Well,
it's not mad.
Well, you know what?
It's
To me,
mad
It's very mad thing. It's simple.
because you
she
can't
signed.
say,
She
you
got the
can't say-
contract, and she
you
saw
can't
the
say
editing of the
these
reunion.
checks are small when this platform's open up many opportunities for
Hold
you.
on.
That
But she
place
also said
the other
today.
check.
But she said today
Because
on the.
no,
She said today.
they just funding that podcast like
But
that.
what does that have to do? I don't understand. That really has nothing to do with her saying she doesn't want to come back because she saw the editing of the reunion. It was very biased against her.
Danny.
I must say though,
it does make sense.
It doesn't make
she
sense.
Wilson now. I'm disappointed in Monique.
Who doesn't like extra money, but she doesn't need that money to survive.
Oh,
Robyn, Gizelle, Candiace, they need.
I'm disappointed in Monique. I must say, I am. I think this is the
Very
season you come back, and guess what? I'm in charge of the girls, because guess what? It's a couple more sections in this binder I ain't even get to, my love. And if I would have came back, I would have been in charge of the girls.
Because that's another thing, too, because who would have wanted to film with you because you attacked the girls at the reunion. So, did your role and episodes have been reduced down? Because the contract didn't give you a full season. It's not mathing.
Well, that's your speculation.
It doesn't add up.
That's the speculation.
It doesn't add up, but at this moment, she says she ain't coming back. And if she does come back, then it is what it is.
Getting her going.
And now today on
I
live,
wish
she said she signed the contract and sent it back, and she's now asking to be released from it. So who knows? Bravo may not release
I honestly wish that she was. Just only because I felt like there was still some healing that could have happened, but I already knew that she would get a reduced role.
What kind of adult you said, JB?
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. I felt like there was going to be like some type
what happened?
What happened?
He said you got to be a type of what adult for healing? What you said earlier? You got to be a certain type of adult to want that.
Who said that?
He said that earlier about two
Chase.
Yeah.
Chase said both people got to want it.
Okay, so yeah.
Basically, what the type of adult that I said that you had to be was one that Candiace has not exhibited in 4 seasons on this show.
Okay.
Catch that dirt.
But
and I'm to be honest, I don't think Monique wants healing with Candiace. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Monique wants that.
I actually think it's Chris who made the decision. It's not Monique. No, I think it's more Chris is like, you ain't doing the show no more, and that's that. So let's go.
I feel like maybe he may have added to it, but ultimately she could have determined to come back if she wanted to. But if his anger is as real as it was on the reunion, he should want to come back. And you're right. He may have been like, let's not come back.
It probably was so more him. And I feel sorry because I don't think it was more so her decision. And this is where we goes into that dynamic of her marriage and not having her freedom. Mm-hmm. Okay? But it's a small check. See, this is where you got to eat the words.
But at the same time, if my husband tell me, after seeing all that, I don't want my kids and stuff on the show, it's just a wrap. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's a wrap. I'm going to side with my family over a show any day.
All right, well.
It's also going to be very interesting because I don't know if you guys noticed on the reunion.
Yeah.
On the reunion, we didn't even talk about the cast trip. Monique wasn't on the cast trip. So I'm sure we probably won't be talking about next week.
I mean,
they didn't even get to that because it was boring.
Because, we don't want her to pop off.
Well, so I saw a comment today.
You can't go to another country if you're just reacting like that.
I saw a comment today, and I'm going to end on this. At this point, I need everybody to... I saw a comment today that said that she was removed from... She wasn't put in the same hotel. According to her live, she said on the live, but then underneath that comment, Chris Bassett replied. This is one of our common Facebook friends. He replied and said she was at the same hotel. So I feel like that live. I haven't watched it because I wanted to come into this talk about just the reunion. I feel like it's looking as if
I watched it.
You watched it. She
said that she was at the hotel. She paid to put herself in the same hotel as everybody else. Right. She put herself there.
Oh, okay. Because I'm gonna say she goes up the elevator to her room.
Yeah. She said she put herself there.
Now who need to stay out of women's business?
That's Aaron's. Aaron. Yeah, Aaron said that. Aaron said yes.
So who need to stay out of women's business?
It's about protecting.
What's on the woman live?
Okay.
Well, it's about protecting. Let's keep the energy the same. It's about protecting.
Why would we put you at the same room? This is your first time seeing the girl after a year. Y'all both haven't apologized.
Oh, please.
I don't want to get popped.
We're not even worth
it. End up in the same room anyway.
Danny, you just said you can't control how you respond. If you can't,
after the way,
then that's a problem. That
was a year ago.
After the way that Candiace
so you healed now.
That was a year ago.
But the fact I'm not understanding. You can't have things and say I do the work and I'm a mature individual, but say I can't hold how I respond. That's the problem.
No. Time out for real. Time out for real.
We gonna need a part two.
Y'all can continue this conversation on Facebook, on y'all own posts. Well, otherwise, for those in the comments, can I finish, please? I'll wait. Okay, so for those in the comments, thank y'all for coming out. It's been a long discussion. It can go all night clearly, but it won't today. Please
I'm
make
glad
sure
this is a little bit.
make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're watching. Make sure you like this video, whether you didn't like some of the things that were said. Overall, we're giving you some good content. Everybody here has contributed to it, so like this post and share it too. Before we
Like,
stop,
share, comment.
yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, all things. Terry, and your Instagram is here. Let everyone know where they can find you outside of Instagram.
Oh, just my Instagram. They can come there. Or they can come there.
You say
Same.
yeah, only time Instagram. Okay, Danny.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, and then Chase.
Well, my Instagram is at Irving B Music, and my Twitter is the same. Irving B Music, excuse me. I actually went into retirement for the stories now because I really want to pursue my music career, but this reunion was just too salacious for me to stay away.
It was good, and I honestly, like, I know if you're watching, it probably got a little crazy, but this discussion is probably one of the biggest of the year. So honestly, where somebody said I lost control, no, I didn't lose control. I let them do what they came to do, and that was
No,
how,
nobody
and
did
that
say
was
that anything.
yeah, somebody said it, but it's okay. I let them have a debate because that's what this is about. So until then, we're about to lead out. Again, thank you, Terry, Danny, and Chase for coming and doing this. This is the last lean of the year, and if I haven't sent it out yet, but everyone that has been a guest on the lean will be receiving something by the second month of the next year. So to stay tuned in. The lean is coming up on a year of being the lean, and so I know it's been a long little thing, but other than that,
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Congrats.
so we'll talk to y'all later. And again, like, subscribe, comment. We are signing out. We are out of here. Y'all have a good night.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays,
Bye.
New Year,
Bye.
child.